Stephen Coreno, KLR Sports here with the one and only Regis Prograis, man. Good to see you, brother. Like I was telling you off camera, man. Congratulations, man. I'm happy. You're getting the shot. It's weird to say you're getting the shot because you're the champ. Right. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. It's like at a big fight, right? Right. It just had me thinking. Us talking to you earlier. Just what was your first? Because you said you came into boxing late. So what was it? What was kind of your first like? Boxing's gonna be it. Boxing's gonna be my life. What was your first boxing's gonna be my life moment?
Really, bro. Like once I started, like I don't know if people know about my football story. I played football in high school, and I used to fight in the glove. All the football players used to fight. And then, I used to kept fighting, and then one day, just long story
each other or like opposite
the football
teams?
Players. No, the football at our school. School, just for the football players against each other at our school and stuff like that. And we used to fight in the classrooms and stuff like that. And then, man, I kept winning. Short story, I kept winning, and then one day the coach came in and he watched me and he was like, man, like after the fight, he pulled me to the side. He was like, look, I don't think you have a future in football, but you might have one in fighting. And literally, bro, like that same week, I turned in all my equipment, and I went to a boxing gym, and I was like, this is what I like to do, this is what I love to do, and I stuck with it. And then of course Katrina happened, all that stuff, we had to move, and I still was like, this is what I want to do. So I moved away. I kept moving a few times. I had to stay out the boxing gym. And then I finally came back to Houston, and I went to Savannah's boxing gym, and it was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. And this is, I found out what I want to do early in life. Like, man, when I was like, really like 18, 19, I was like, this is going to be my career. And, I never had a plan B. It was always a plan A. Like, this is what I want to do. That's it, And I just focused on it. I really focused. I really worked. And one thing, me having a late start, it prepared me. It made me better because I always had to work more. Like I said, I came up with the twins and stuff like that. And, how good they was. And I was just, levels below them because I started so late. So every day after practice, I would have to go home and just do some things, shadow box, work on some things. And, yeah, bro, I just wanted it. And so, like, at an early age, I wanted to do that.
When you fought in the against football, your football players and stuff, your mates, like, was it something about like, oh, I like this, and then so when he told you like, hey, maybe it's fighting, you were like, all right, that's it.
He just kind of confirmed what I already knew. I just wasn't enjoying football anyway no more. I was just like, I'm kind of done with this. I didn't want to play football. I was good when I was young, but then got to high school. These dudes in the summer I'd be in the street, running around the streets and chasing girls and fighting and all that stuff on the street. And so, in the summertime, these dudes going to camps, football camps. So they coming back to school strong and darker and shit like that. And I'm faster. They run track. They go lift weights. They doing all that stuff. So I'm like, man, you know what? I don't want to do this. I'm good. And so, he just kind of confirmed what I already knew anyway.
Yeah, you had the fighting spirit. You knew it. Yeah. Man, looking at the Devin Haney fight, obviously, the press conference happened yesterday. A lot of talk back and forth. Right. I believe Lomachenko was mentioned. You mentioned it today that you felt, Lomachenko needed to beat the champion, and maybe he didn't do that, right? You're the champion in this scenario. Do you feel that you're going to get that same respect back because, Devin is the undisputed right at 135, but he's coming up to challenge your belt? Do you feel you're going to get that kind of champion respect that you deserve, being that you are the legit champion of the division?
It's like a yes and no type of thing. I do feel like, but we are fighting in a debate where he's from there. But at the same time, bro, I'm just not worried about that. It's something that I'm just not worried about. Like, the skill level I want to show. I just want to show people right now. This fight is going to show everybody. I had 30 fights. In those 30 fights, this fighter is coming in. It's not going to be the same fighter. That's what I want to show people. So no matter, I know what the outcome could be already, I'm going to stop him. I definitely, there's no way I don't feel like I'm going to touch him. I'm going to stop him. In the big stuff, like, really, for me, like, they say he's bigger. That works people don't realize that works in my advantage. Like, he's bigger. All right. That's a bigger target. For me, that's a bigger target, honestly. So I looked at him yesterday. I'm like, damn, he is big. Like, I like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at like, damn, he is big. His head is big and stuff. Like, I like that. Like, that's why I was looking like. If people could see in a like the little face, I had a small smirk on my face. Real small. I had a smirk on my face. It's like, damn, I like what I'm seeing. I like his size, you know, like, cause and I'm sparring with sparring partners actually way bigger than him already right now, but I like that size, you know. So they thinking, oh, it's gonna work in advantage for me. I'm like, that's a disadvantage. Your size is gonna be, if the bigger you are, that's gonna be a disadvantage for you. So,
like a bigger target, you feel?
yes, a bigger target. I feel like it's gonna be a bigger target. You're not gonna get out the way from what I feel like he's not gonna be able to get out the way from what I'm gonna do. That's it, you know. I like the size. Basically, I like the size. Yeah, I like it.
It's good, man. I can't wait. I'm excited to see. Is there? I know you have 3. It was your deal with Matchroom, I believe, was 3 fights. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. But so this is the second one. Is there a rematch clause with this fight at all, like one way or the other?
No rematch clause. Nope, no rematch clause at all. You know, I didn't even need. I ain't want one. You know, I don't think he wanted one. I ain't want one. So now we ain't got no rematch clause. I don't want to see him. After this, after I whoop his ass, go do something else. He do something else, I'm gonna do something else.
For sure. You talked about how you really grinded, right? From you were getting checks for $1 for fights. I mean, that's hard to continue doing something like this, right? When you're doing it, and then when you hear something like you were saying that Devin might have lost the fight in Mexico, paid to cover it up, whatever. Does that irk you a little bit more, being that it's like, man, like, you lost and you had the money to pay for it, and you know what I mean, to like reverse it? Does that kind of like irk you a little bit more, being that you work so hard?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like this fight is just like you talking about like somebody that I'm not gonna say he had it. I'm not gonna say he had everything handed to him, but he had more handed to him than I had. I really. Like, I grind. He comes from money. Like, I don't come from. I'm the person in my family providing stuff for people. Like he has this already. He's grown. He had all this already. He been had this. His daddy had it. So I'm the one that grinded, bro. I grinded. I feel like that's gonna be the difference. My mindset, like what I'm willing to do, where I'm willing to go, is he's not willing to go. I feel like, yeah, where I'm willing to go, he's not willing to go. He's not willing to go there. Mentally, he's not willing to go to a place that I'm willing to go, because I had to get this really out the mud. That's how I tell him, bro. I really got, y'all don't understand, I really got where I got out the mud. Like I feel like he's manufactured. His daddy got all that stuff for him. They put him in all these nice cars and all that stuff. No, bro, like I'm not renting no cars and driving up to shit. Like this is mine. Like I did all this myself. So, yeah, that's how I feel.
Is it maybe... Would it be maybe even more personally satisfying beating him the way you're saying, you want to hurt him, you want to get the knockout, kind of knowing that it's like, look, like this is what the hard work does, you know what I mean? And kind of like maybe silver spoon, so to speak, you know what I mean, is going to fall. Right.
I mean, I want to say personally. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's not a personal thing, but I'm just going out there and I'm just going out there and do my job. Like I told you, like with this fight, I want to show my skill. I want to show skill versus skill. That's what I want to do. I want to show people like how good I've become, how good I've gotten, how much I'm improved. That's what I want to show people right now. Like just the improvements. Like when the commentators will be like, damn, where's that Regis come from? That's what I want the commentators to say. Whoever's commentating this fight, they gonna say, where did this Regis come from? They gonna say nobody can beat this Regis. That's what they gonna say when they watch this fight.
I feel like with a victory on December 9th, I feel like the clear next guy is the guy with the lineal championship, right? Teofimo Lopez in the division. Is that? I mean, I know you talked about Ryan. It's big fights, it's big money fights, but legacy-wise, is Teo the guy that...
Legacy Teo, yeah, for sure. Legacy-wise, is definitely, it'll be Teo for sure, legacy-wise, Well, like I said, we'll see what happens, Just because you want to fight, obviously don't mean you'll get it. So, big fights. That's all I want is, really, really, for me, big fights. From this moment on, I just want big fights.
Just turning the corner real quick, we saw Canelo versus Jermell. I know you're close to the twins. I heard a lot of people kind of give Jermell a lot of slack after the fight, kind of saying that, he wasn't really trying to win after a certain point. Right. It was just there trying to survive. Just have you had words with Jermell afterwards, and just what do you think about that kind of criticism from a lot of people who weren't even have never been in a boxing ring?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't talk to them. Well, honestly, bro, I'll tell you right now, I don't really talk to the twins no more too much. Me and Mel kind of we all right and stuff like that. I used to be cool with Maul, but I don't really talk. I love him let's just say I love him from a distance. That's all with him. We cool love him from a distance, but I don't really talk to him like that too much. But yeah, I mean, they got to realize, it looked like it does look like he wasn't trying to win. He definitely could have dug deep down and, did a little more, but he was, he just, he didn't want to get hit. He felt that power, he didn't want to get hit. But I think something else people just have to realize is like, he's still undisputed at 54. He came up 2 divisions, to challenge. So, he should have maybe never just ran around, but at the same time, they took his belt, but they still was undisputed at 154. So he still is the man at 154 to me, in my eyes. But he just came up 2 divisions, and he felt that power. He was like, hell no, I'm straight.
For sure. Crawford, kind of said that he's off of his hit list, so to speak. I mean, in all fairness, he's, like you said, he's undisputed, at the division above Crawford's. If that fight were to play out, I know you're close to the twins, but I know you kind of have a somewhat of a relationship with Crawford too. Just stylistically, what does that look like in the ring?
It's a good fight, man. I think that, honestly, bro, man, if they sign the fight, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how that, I don't really know how that, I mean, skill-wise, you definitely got to give it to Crawford. Jamel is a little bigger, so, how would Crawford match up to, that power? But it's a good fight. That's a fight, like I said earlier, to say if I had my promoter's hat, I definitely would want to watch that fight, right. For sure.
Man, just kind of lastly, this past weekend, the Misfits, Logan Paul and KSI, they did 1.3 million. From what I've checked, that's the biggest boxing pay-per-view this year. I want to say Tank and Ryan was 1.2, so that didn't even, like one of our biggest fights still didn't do it. You know what I mean? We all heard what's going on with Showtime. They're out of boxing now. PBC might be going to Amazon Prime or DAZN. Just what's the state of boxing like right now? What does all that stuff say about the state of boxing right now?
Boxing is changing. That's it. Boxing is changing. People are sick of, the fans are sick of the fights not being made, the right fights not being made. They, like, the fans are sick. Like, with this, you talk about with the YouTube fighters, they are actually fighting somebody that, like, shit, we don't know who's going to win. That's what people want to see. People want to see, like, all right, 50-50 fights. I don't know. This side says this side says this, like with the Crawford and Spence, it's going like this. But most of the time in boxing, we have, all right, when is this dude going to get knocked out? When is this guy going to, what round is it going to end in? They know who's going to win already, that's what's going on in boxing right now. So that's why boxing has to step up. Boxing has to make fights after fights after fight. They have to make the best versus the best all the time. It's like, we coming out the era, like the Floyd, the build up and all that type of stuff. And everybody wants to do that right. Everybody wants to have that same road. Everybody wants to have the Floyd Mayweather road. Obviously, people want to get rich like Floyd, but Floyd had a different path. Floyd grinded, he did his thing, and that was it. But everybody wants to have that path right now. Like, and boxing is suffering because of that, because we want to see the best versus the best. It's not about winning or losing. It's about the best versus the best. That's what people want to see. We don't care about, at the end of the day, like, a lot of fighters don't want, take a loss and stuff like that. They want to be, everybody wants to be undefeated. Undefeated. It's like, no, man, like, risk it. Roy Jones said it. Like, when I was fighting, I was risking it. There's no way I'm ducking the fight. I'm fighting whoever. I'm fighting I don't care if I get knocked out, whatever. I'm fighting everybody. And that's what's going on with, like, the Misfits boxing and stuff. They, it's fights that people want to see. It's like 50-50 fights. Who's going to win? I don't know. It goes this way. And that's what makes interesting fights, when it's a fight that you don't know going to win. If you already know the outcome, Tank fight everybody. They know, all right, he going to knock him out. He going to knock him out. He going to knock him out. What rounds he going to knock him out in? People want to see, they want to see fights that they don't know what's gonna happen. They want to go mystery. It's they want the mystery of what's gonna happen. They want to bet with somebody. Oh, I bet this. Not like, oh, he gonna knock him out. He already gonna knock him out. We know what's gonna happen. Why would you watch something if you already know the outcome? It don't make sense. So that's what boxing need to come. Boxing need to come back into, like, those super good fights. Have trilogies and shit like that. Man, these motherfuckers beat the shit out of each other. I want to see that. So boxing just gotta step it up like that. Make good fights.
Well, I mean, there's a great fight December 9th with you versus Devin Haney, man. Thank you for putting it together and all that, man. Is this a Regis shirt? Can fans get this merch somewhere?
Yes. We'll have a vendor at the venue. We're getting a bunch of shirts made. We getting all kind of merch. We have socks, hats, everything. So
Rougarou socks?
We gonna have Rougarou socks, man. We get hats. We got socks. We got hats. We gonna have keychains. Probably like the face fans. We gonna have everything. So at the vendor, at the fight, we gonna have a bunch of stuff.
That's dope, man. Happy to see it. Congratulations, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you as always.
Thank you.